This is Shuka. This is the topic I'm going to talk about today. The Earth's pole shift and replacement will take place over a 6-hour period. The pole shift is coming soon. However, 99% of people don't even know that the pole shift is coming. And 99% don't know how to prepare for it. Simultaneously with the pole shift, the final great transition will occur. The time until the final Great War that follows this pole shift will be approximately 6 hours, during which time the entire world will be devastated to the point where virtually no safe areas will be left. This is a story from the Bible. Jesus said that humanity will experience a disaster unlike anything ever heard or experienced before, and that there will never be another such disaster. That's the story. Matthew chapter 24, 19-21. A great tribulation is about to occur, but people are still unaware of it. From the beginning until now, there has never been such a tribulation, and there will never be again. The Earth's pole shift is now occurring according to 1,000 scenarios. Now that this Earth is closing its gates, no beings can remain on this Earth. So, the Father is now forcibly sending humanity off this planet. Where will they be sent? Those who ascend will ascend, and those who descend, not ascend. What happens to them when they die? They will be sucked into the black hole of the soul and reduced to the elements. They will return to the essence of healing. So, you are now souls in a body. But if you have not awakened and welcomed God the Father, or if you have welcomed Him but cannot let go of your possessions and do not recognize me, then you are all those who have not been accepted. The consciousness index needs to be over 450, but it needs to be 500. Now, if you're kind and rising, you can become Hugo. Right now, humans are usually around 200 or 300. That's why I'm saying it won't work, but they're gone forever. They can be disposed of. Incineration treatment, the black hole of the soul is thrown into that lake of fire, and it completely disintegrates them into an enemy state and sends them back to an energy state. Then, later, when another soul is created through the white hole, those elements will combine, but that doesn't mean that old memories will come back or anything. That's me. Also, the very evil ones are sent to Damwon, a two-dimensional dystopia called Hell Planet. They're sent to planet Damon. The plan is to make the very miserable Nanas live there like spirits and then destroy them all at once on one day. However, the planet has already been prepared. Father, the new nation Tabra is now prepared with 12 planets. It's like this. There is and will be. It's a shame. The Earth's pole shift is about to occur soon, and the scene of this pole shift is more horrific than any war. It's very scary. I'll tell you about that. Now, up until now, there have been floods and great floods around the world, tsunamis, earthquakes, typhoons, hurricanes, and wildfires. And the pandemic has been calm, but now that the end is right around the corner, the Earth's pole shift is in progress, and this pole shift is immediate. After that, after the Earth's pole shift, now the final stage of a great disaster, you all can't even imagine. Now, really shocking, terrifying things are happening, and people are going crazy. This is a time when an enormous disaster will occur all over the region, all over the world. It goes without saying that there will be a lot of support. The support will occur simultaneously. The ground will tear, rise, and fall, and the tsunami will sweep away places 200 to 500 meters high, and places as high as 1 kilometer will just fall. It will sweep away at 1,000 kilometers per hour, and volcanic eruptions will also occur simultaneously. So there will be nowhere to hide and nowhere to go. Because earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanoes, and great wars are all occurring simultaneously, it is beyond imagination, and there is no way to stop it. And it is not something that can be stopped by human power or national power. These things are destined to happen. So, when there's a quake on Earth, what's the magnitude of the earthquake, you guys? Yeah. There's a quake on Earth. Yeah. And then, from the beginning to the end, the earthquakes on Earth add up over a period of 6 hours. A magnitude 10 to 18, a huge earthquake, but this isn't a major earthquake. This is an earthquake that's completely beyond imagination. The ground, in his words, is just ripping apart, tearing apart, spewing out everything inside. Then, the ground is pounded and pushed back in. So, where there were mountain ranges, they're ripped apart, and oceans are formed, and water rises. So, when the Earth is at that time, the continents of Lemuria and Atlantis are rising. They're rising. Deep beneath the quake, there are Lemuria and Atlantis. There they are. Atlantis, there's a palace where the innocents live. That's not a lie. In the real Atlantis, there are mermaids. They are mermaids. They are helping me, Shukaib, right now. They are very high-dimensional. They are high-dimensional. And there are beings playing with the mermaid tribe, and they are giants. They are Nephilim. They are from the 5th dimension. I get calls often. Inhoy, mermaids. Shukaib, a giant is coming towards the palace where we are, and we are watching carefully right now. I keep getting calls like this. These Nephilim are very strong-willed and fearless, so they like to wander around here. Because they are from the 5th dimension, they can cloak, and there are a lot of Nephilim all over the earth. They're in the sea and in the mountains, and they're invisible, but they refer to the Nephilim in the Bible. During the Amadou War, the Nephilim were fighting on the side of darkness. And then they were on our father's side. That's it. And so, the magnitude of the earthquake that occurred at the same time was 10 to 18, 12, 13, 14, 15, right? That's a huge scale. He said that the earth was ripping apart and there was a huge noise from the ground. My father said that the earth was ripping apart. The earth was completely ripping apart and the earth was twisting. The ground, the Danchong was ripping apart, colliding and bending, and as the mountain range entered, there was a charging sound, and the sea waters were like a dragon tree, and they were like canceling and screaming, and incredible things happened. There's Mount Everest, right? So, the Andes, the Alps, the Himalayas, and the rocket are all now buried underground. They're all buried, and that's what they are. After that, these places will become oceans, filled with seawater. These things are happening now, And this Earth shift is also a program that is happening to completely wipe out the civilization that humanity has worked so hard to build. Half the population will die there. They have to die like this, but only by sending humanity away can we close this Earth. Those who survived that time are now suffering tremendously and terribly because a single world government has been launched. That's why I said that. The magnetic shift is related to the battle planet Ernie Veer, and the battle planet Warmud is currently anchored behind the sun. It's here now. And with the power of the battle planet, the Earth, which is now tilted 23.5 degrees, will be turned in an instant. It will only turn for about 0.1 seconds, but it will turn. After that, the Earth's crust will twist, break, tear, and fall back, and the ground will rise, and this will happen for 6 hours. This is called the final great disaster in Chang'e. It is the final great disaster. It will happen for 6 hours, but the story is that you will never be able to open your eyes and see such a terrifying tragedy. Again, the Bible says this: "Woe to the children and young people in those days. But pray that your flight will not be in winter or on the Sabbath, for then there will be great tribulation, such as has not occurred since the beginning of the world until now, no, nor will occur again." This is the current cosmic cycle, the Earth's great transformation, and the dimensional ascension, which concludes the 12,000-year cycle. For 12,000 years, humanity has lived and grown spiritually, but now the time has come to distinguish between the wheat and the tares of the soul harvest, and so the Earth's pole shift is occurring. The pole shift shouldn't have happened originally, but the reason it is happening is because humanity has done so many evil deeds, and now there is too much evil karma accumulated throughout the entire universe. The only way to resolve it all at once is the pole shift, and annihilating humanity by the hundreds. This means that the physical body cannot be restored. There has to be an east, but half the population will die, and they will either shed their bodies and ascend as they did, or be thrown into a black hole forever, a lake of fire, and be incinerated and return to their elemental state, or be sent to the dystopian hell planet Dammon. That's what they're talking about, and the 12,000-year cycle is called the end of the world, and now that day is right before our eyes. Let me tell you about the snow. Now that everything has ended, planet Earth is about to graduate. You are taking your graduation exams right now. While you're taking your graduation exams, you still have an interest in politics and are agitating and inciting others. Celebrities are trying their best to gain and maintain popularity, and the leaders of the Jong-un system are trying to weed out pure people in the US and Korea and make them into evil people, and their minions. Parents, who couldn't live like that themselves, want their children to be smarter, wiser, and so on, and they keep forcing them to study and do things. In the meantime, they are being hit with things that they shouldn't be hitting with. Now, because we're about to do that, the spaceships that the 12 legions of angels from the Father's army and the heavenly army are already cloaked in the Earth's atmosphere, that is, in the sky, and are closely observing the situation on this Earth. I want to tell you that we're always on standby, on guard, and watching to make sure nothing untoward happens. Okay, that's it. That's it. Something's happening. Yes. Now, when the Earth shifts, billions of people will shed their bodies. They'll shed their bodies. They'll shed their bodies, but to avoid death, people like tycoons, presidents, and the powerful, the wealthy, will use spaceships and airplanes. There's Elon Musk. Yeah. They've built spaceships and are trying to escape the atmosphere. They're trying to go into space, out of the Earth. They absolutely can't. I'll explain why in the next video. I just want to tell you that absolutely no one can leave the Earth's atmosphere without being judged. Now, the situation is getting worse and worse. This is happening for about 6 hours, and it's a tragedy that we can't bear to watch with our eyes open. Furthermore, in a country like ours, the population is high, and it's overcrowded. There are many apartments, residential complexes, and high-rise buildings. So, what would happen if a magnitude 10, 12, 13, 15, 18, or 20 earthquake occurred in this situation? They would all be caught. People would die from being crushed under buildings, and there's no equipment to rescue these children. There's no people. Why? Because a global disaster is unfolding. I want you to know that. So, if you read all the things I did before I awoke as the second coming Jesus on November 24, 2023, you will understand why I keep uploading the same videos thousands of times, talking about the same things as if I were pouring blood on them. Now, it's the end. The end has come, and I am giving you the opportunity to prepare, to give you the opportunity. Letting go of what you have is really difficult. What is that? It is as difficult for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven as a camel passing through the eye of a needle. That is why I am repeatedly warning you. If you do not prepare now, there will be no more opportunities. Be sure to read The Gates of Heaven. You will gain insight after reading it. That is why Father God awakened me and immediately gave me the message of salvation. If you read this, you will understand how you can awaken and how difficult prayer and meditation truly are. Meditation is truly dangerous. The darkness has deliberately made you meditate this way. The pleasant emotions and miraculous experiences you experience when practicing the Saw's lighting meditation are deliberately shown to you by the darkness. Yes, now, those who have recognized Nikshuka IB, I hope you will willingly lay down your wealth to build the temple of God the Father. Now that everything is over, I hope you will never hoard wealth, but become blessed ones who accumulate wealth in the kingdom of heaven. And I, Shukaib, no longer engage in income-generating activities through class coaching. Now, lightworkers who have recognized me are carrying out their mission with that kind of general help. There really isn't much left now. Just looking at the signs that are happening all over the world right now, social, economic, cultural, political, and the disasters happening all over the world, people losing their hearts and love, the terrible things happening, the murders happening in families, you can tell that this world is ending. I'll stop here.